I had just walked through the door of Gatorland when Brandon Fisher stuck a baby alligator in my palm. It writhed around, its little claws scratching the skin of my hands. I immediately compared it to my cat at home, and Brandon chuckled. "We call them swamp kittens," he said. Fisher, with his long beard and name-embroidered work shirt, looks like the kind of guy who would know a lot about gators, and he does not disappoint.
"I was that kid catching stuff in my backyard, bringing it in the house and terrorizing my brother with it,"
he said. Gatorland is known for two things: live gator shows and its front entrance. To get inside, you must walk through the open jaws of a giant bright green gator head, a fitting first impression for a place that's home to roughly 2,400 gators. In 1949, 22 years BD, that's before Disney, Gatorland started as a simple roadside attraction. Pay a fee, look at some gators. But Orlando has grown around them, and today they know they can throw some punches at the main attractions while acknowledging what they share.
"So we compete with the big dogs here in town, but we also owe it to Disney for being here."
Gatorland also partners with local companies to bring baby alligators across the country. Many of the state's other wildlife parks have Gatorland gators in their enclosures too. Most are American alligators, but you'll also find crocodiles, saltwater, Cuban, and Nile. And a gator park wouldn't be complete without some friends, mainly panthers, parrots, bobcats, snakes, and bugs. In the middle of our conversation, an alligator shuffles over in the shallow water just below the boardwalk where we're chatting. His head is wide and flat, and I yelp in surprise.
"Look, that's Craftsman right there. I mean, look at his face. Looks like a Craftsman shovel. That's why he got his name."
Fisher knows a lot of his gators on a first-name basis. There's Turnpike, who was found by the Florida Turnpike. There's Pop, the park's oldest gator at 72. There's Bogey, who was picked up by a golf course. And there's Terminator, an alligator who raised so much hell in the wild that Florida Fish and Wildlife knew Gatorland was the only spot that could keep him safe. A lot of these gators came that way, scooped up from swimming pools and ponds by trappers. One in particular that Fisher knows well is Buddy. At 13 feet long, he's the biggest gator on the property.
"I love him to death,"
says Fisher. When we approach Buddy in the swamp where he's resting, he gives Fisher a sidelong glance, almost in recognition. Gatorland is well aware of their place in the greater Orlando theme park community. They have an attraction in the back of the park where guests can hop on buggy rides through the back swamps, built to depict the real Florida. The tour guide cracks jokes, mostly about the way Orlando is perceived versus the way it really is, all while gators sit in large lakes, grinning as the ride rumbles past them. Gator safety is, in fact, part of Fisher's job. There are signs everywhere in the state warning you not to feed the wildlife, including gators. Once they associate humans with food, trouble is not far away.
"So that's when you get your stories of a dog missing, a kitty cat getting eaten, or a person getting bit or attacked by an alligator,"
he says. But keeping people safe from gators is just as valuable as keeping them safe from us. These creatures were on the brink of extinction nearly a century ago. Thanks to conservationists, the alligators of Florida still live in abundance, including in the cultivated ponds of Gatorland. When gators do have bad interactions with humans, they become what's called a nuisance gator. They can't stay in the wild, but they need somewhere safe to live. So Gatorland takes them in.
"They have survived since the dinosaurs,"
Fisher says with a smile. Grinning wide, surrounded by these ancient reptiles, seems like the only place he wants to be.